Hi, I'm Phazen.
Welcome to video, but it's not color-based. It's COMPLEXTRO. And this is Trey, but with an X.
Hi, my name is Treyx.
He's going to play the intro of this track called Light Beam that we just released.
Yep.
And we're going to teach you how to do color-based COMPLEXTRO. The very intro, we had like ambience.
Yeah, so I have this little ocean game loop sample. It's just underwater bubbles. I thought it was a very fun, watery sound that could like bring us into another watery pad, which is actually right here.
Ooh.
It is a harmer that is got a bunch of noise resonance going on with this filter. So the noise resonance filter is turned up all the way, with the width turned up all the way as well. A little bit of phaser movement as well. Turned up the harmonizer amount all the way with about 53% width. And then if we look at the processing chain, it has got a kilohertz compressor, vocodecs to make it feel a little icy. And then the thing that kind of glues it together is the pitch map colors. And I'm routing it. I'm routing the chords to it so that it's following that chord progression. Another thing that I added is this spectral sand plugin by Unfamiliar.
Well, I doubt anyone knows about that. I've never seen that.
It is such a cool plugin. It's a granular delay plugin. Fruity Convolver blur preset to completely blurred out. It's very nice to create atmospheres and pads and stuff. I like them to be more in the background, so that's why it's more of a like blurred out background sound. And the thing that takes the center stage is the piano.
Is that Lab's piano?
It is Lab's soft piano.
Ooh, we have it. That's like the famous one.
Yeah, everybody uses this.
But for a good reason though, it sounds really good.
I have this little drum loop that's got a flanger that's turning the mix up as we go through the intro.
Who did the vocals?
That's me with my voice format shifted down, with a bunch of reverb and delay, I think a little bit of OTT, and a resonator to add some tonality. And then this is you.
Light Beam.
It is me. I said light beam.
Light Beam.
You absolutely carried this part.
This is super fun. So we've got some super sawy stuff with a fun lead that I made in Serum. It is a couple of sounds. First thing, it's a Serum with multiband compression and a little bit of white noise. We've got the next layer. This is the saw noise base right here. Then there is this vital layer that's bringing everything together. It is just two saw waves, yeah. One of them is 12 unison voices, and another is 8 unison voices.
Dude, the thing's glitching again.
Oh my gosh.
It's so funny because it just duplicates your screen inside vinyl.
Now, let's move on to the lead, which is my signature like Treyx lead that I use like every single track that I work on.
It reminds me of the VR lead, but like in a new era.
Yeah. Serum is a third-party VST, so in FL you can't use the slide notes that come with FL. So my solution to that is to automate the portamento knob in Serum, and then I quickly automate it back to its initial position at like 25%.
I never knew how you did that.
Yeah, so without it, it just sounds like this. It just sounds really clunky. With the automated portamento, it slides beautifully.
It really does, wow.
Aside from that, just some bass growls and spaces that you and I have made that I threw here.
Some of these sounds were in the Prime sample pack, I think.
Yes, they were.
Cool. Buy that. Very subtle.
Here we have some backing tracks, some 8-bit ARPs, and some lasers from another one of your sample packs. Yeah, I think this riser was too. The last thing for this section, besides the drums, but we'll go into those in the drop, this little 8-bit section. It's COMPLEXTRO, and COMPLEXTRO usually has a lot of 8-bit stuff. So we have a MDK preset. It's the Shovel Knight preset. Those are the chords. And then I have the Treyx lead again, but I'm automating a bit crusher. I'm automating the bit crusher right here.
I have like basses in it for my sample pack, like Reese's at each downbeat into every 4 or 8 bars. And it kind of like introduces the dubstep part, like foreshadowing it just with the basses.
Yeah. And then underneath what you made, I added these little water sounds and some percussion like crashes. And the kick, which right now the kick really desperately needs multi-band transient shaping, but we won't talk about that right now. And then we get to the build-up.
So it was actually really fun making this. I spliced up the vocal and made it automate up with the frequency shifter, and as it gets higher, the LFO starts to go up faster until the end.
Yeah, that's always a super fun thing to try out with things like build-ups.
We used the light beam vocal sample twice, and I like that like foreshadowing at the very beginning.
Yes, absolutely. And then we get to the first drop, which is the drop that I made. First thing is this sound that I made in another project.
Ooh, good colored guns. Which we included in the free sample pack.
We did. We included a small snippet of it. And then this sound is also in the sample pack that we released. It's got a resonator or a convolution reverb on it or something. But yeah. And then this is just a serum growl that I made. I threw a resonator on it though, and it looks like this. Here, it's one of your Reese's that you made, and then I've layered it with a shark's pad. And then we bring back the chords and Treyx lead and stuff. And then we get into the second half, which is just same basses with a little bit of variation. With this bass, I think I shifted the formant down on the sampler, and then did the same thing for all the other ones. I actually automated it, if you can see. The 8-bit ARP and the laser loop that you made, they are so important to filling out the drop. So let's play the entire drop without these.
I can already hear it's like dead.
COMPLEXTRO is all about having a very strong backing track with ARPs and laser sounds or chants and anything that can fill up that background space. So, 8-bit ARP feels so much more full, and it's great. Right here, we bring back the piano. With COMPLEXTRO, it's very important that you follow rhythms and patterns. Same thing with things like house and electro and all that stuff. Important thing to note is that in this half, I'm changing the melody just a little bit. I'm just changing the notes so that there is variety. It always helps when writing melodies to base ideas off of your biggest inspiration. So like, for example, for a long time, I looked at a lot of MDK melodies to learn, okay, how does this work so well? What flows nicely? What doesn't? And yeah, just put in all that practice. I'm not going to stay in this part of the song for too much longer, but I do want to talk about the harmonies that I have in this specific section. The Treyx lead is playing these melodies right here. And then we've got another sound. This is a harmor. This is a nice wide harmor sound, and it's playing these notes. They're different from the other one. And then this one is playing a D sharp chord right here. Very important to add harmonies, to add interesting twists to your melodies. After that, we get to your future bass section.
Shout out Sekai and Modus for feedbacking because I switched up the drums on this section, because originally they were like too transient heavy.
It's shaped up really beautifully, because this is such a fun section.
I took inspiration from other melodic dubstep in COMPLEXTRO. Really, my only reference is Virtual Riot, and he likes to put in simple wavetables for like little glitches in between melodies. So I just dragged in just a square wave playing one note and would play it in between bars or phrases. For the main sound, I took Trey's stem of the lead synths and ran it through OTT and Volume Shaper, and then just played the most basic like quarter notes and eighth notes for the melody. And then I added future bass drums to it, and then there was the section, really.
Next, we get on to the second build-up. Basically, same thing as the first build-up, but it leads into your drop.
So one thing I noticed between our two different styles of drops is that I tend to rely on repeating notes and then adding a layer above it, whereas you make more melodically complex drops. This one is mostly just about the rhythm. With this drop, I did the same thing as the future bass one, where I just took Trey's already complex melodic stem, took it through kilohertz effects, like filters and stuff, and made it rhythmically interesting instead.
I think it works super well for this style of drop, because in the first drop, we had something that was very like... what's a good way to describe it?
It establishes the main theme.
Yeah, it absolutely establishes the main theme. And then with your drop, it goes into this more rhythmy development that then leads into the resolution of the entire track. So as you can see, we are bringing back the intro, basically. But we're starting to wind down. Song's getting ready to close. Elements are fading out. Piano resolves.
And that's the song.
That is the song.
So, shout out to Treyx. The dude's insanely talented. Check out his SoundCloud and Spotify and stuff. And download the free sample pack based off this song. It'll be in the description, and it includes about 15 sounds that you can use in your own production. That's about it, and I'll catch you guys next time.